Hi, my name is Anna Marie Vacatoro and I am 21 years old. I love to cook. I've been cooking since I was 15 years old, and I started off in just a regular franchise restaurant, and I began studying by myself and teaching myself through cookbooks how to cook. And then I went to culinary school, and shortly after that I got an apprenticeship, and during this apprenticeship I was working at a bakery where I learned my passion for baking cakes and pastries and breads. Well, I was taught by a pastry chef that worked in Disney, and he taught me how to do classic French recipes and classic Italian recipes. In culinary school, I was taught by a pastry chef, and he taught me how to cook all sorts of delicious things. We learned how to decorate cakes, we learned how to make Italian meringues, and my favorite thing we learned was how to bake bread. The chef taught me standard formulas on bread baking, between activating yeast and not using too much salt, to just the standard principles on how to be a successful bread baker. So I took those tips and I did my own twist on them, and I'm still working in the culinary field. Right now I work in New York City, and I'm just working as a garde manger cook on Park Avenue. I have a lot to teach about bread baking, between adding sugar to activate yeast to making sure your water is the right temperature. When I bake bread, I like to add a little twist on it. I like to combine odd flavors, and I also like to combine things that normally wouldn't be inside bread, and put them in there. Sometimes I put rose petals in bread, sometimes I put lavender and thyme. Also, chamomile and honey is a good flavor that can be added. And there's just plenty you can do. There's classic recipes where there's been 5-year mother doughs that you add. There is plenty to learn about making bread, forming bread, scoring bread, all sorts of stuff. For a while after I completed my apprenticeship, I was selling bread out of my house, which is a little illegal, but I did it anyway. I had a good clientele. I had about 25 people that were buying from me, and they all couldn't get enough of it. So I sold it, and then that was when I was currently unemployed at the time, and I was able to pay my rent just by baking breads. Right now I'm currently working in New York, and I'm staying with my aunt, my cousin, and my uncle, and I'm fishing for apartments and looking left and right. I've already found my job and I am commuting, but it would be awesome if I could get the show on the Food Network and teach people how easy it is to bake bread and how wonderful it is to make your own pastries at home.